Alright man, another video, which means I have more free picks for you. Obviously, in our last video, I'm going to be completely transparent. We went 1-2. We had a sweep the video before that where we went 3-0. But in the last video, we went 1-2. And I'll show you real quickly what that puts us at in our free picks. Over our last 43, we're currently 28-15, which has us at a win percentage of 65%. So obviously still extremely profitable. In our last 10, we're 5-5, so about mediocre. And then our last 20, we're 12-8, which is pretty solid. We had LeBron going over 26.5. Most books bumped this down to 25.5. So if you got it there, you obviously hit. But I had it at 26.5. And like I said, I'm going to be completely transparent. That's what I said to take it at in my video. So that's fine. We missed that pick. Jason Tatum, we had him over 25.5 points, and I genuinely struggled watching this game. He had all the opportunities in the world to hit this over. He had 21 points going into the fourth quarter, but he missed like 5 or 6 shots in a row, which is super unlike him. He had the volume to hit it. I would take this bet again if I could, but obviously he just didn't play very good, shot at a low percentage, and that's why he didn't hit. And then Evan Mobley, he just didn't really do much at all. He didn't get to play a ton in the fourth quarter, probably because he wasn't playing very good, but I think he finished with 7 or 8 total rebounds plus assists, so just a miss there. That is on me completely. In today's video, though, we're going to try to bounce back. I'm going to give you all 4 picks today instead of 3 because of how last video went. Hopefully we can sweep on them, but real quick before I show you that, I do want to mention that as you can see right here, I just want to show you that in my free plan on Winnable, it's completely free. I don't charge you anything. I did add these parlays in there, and if you'd have took these, obviously you would have won. Prize Picks had a free play going on. We won $50 off that, and then we also took Embiid's over and paired that with LeBron. Obviously, LeBron pushed, but we put it in as a $50 play, and we made $75, so $25 profit there. So if you want to hop on the free plan, just go to the first link in the description. Scroll down, hit free plan, and hit subscribe. It's that simple. It literally is free. I'm just going to give you a few extra plays there. I'm not going to charge you anything. And now with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump straight into the first pick of the video. All I ask is you hit that subscribe button and that like button if you want more free pick videos just like this. And without further ado, let's head over to Props Madness, where the first pick I'm going to be looking at is that guy Cade Cunningham. And I'm going to be taking a look at his assists at this line of 10.5 to go under this mark. As you can see right here, in his last 30 games, he's just hit this 11 times, so he's only hitting it at a 36.7% rate in his last 30, and then on the season, he's averaging just 9.5 assists, which is obviously under that mark, and that's really good to see if you're looking to take the under. And then when you add on top of that, when you look at who he's playing, he's going to be playing the Cavs, of course, and the Cavs are a top 10 defense when it comes to assists allowed, and if we add that filter on here, opponent assists allowed, and we make it top 10 teams only, you're going to see that his hit rate drops drastically to a 26.7% rate, which is obviously really, really good to see. In these games, he's just averaging 8.8 assists, which is well below this mark, and that's really what got me started with this pick, and it's why I stuck with it and am so confident in it. Now, to go along with that, though, what I also love about this is if we take off the filter and just look at straight head-to-head, you can see the last 2 times that he played the Cavs, he went under this mark by a big margin. 7 the last time they played, and 6 the time before that. So obviously that's really good to see, and that really rounds out why I like this pick so much. I think he's going to go under. I think it's going to hit with ease. I think he maybe has 8 or 9 assists at most, and that makes me really confident in this pick. But I do want to mention real quick that other books do have this line at 9.5 now. Started at 10.5 when I started making this video about 2 hours doing my research. But now it's at 9.5, so I do want to show you if you go to opponent's assists allowed and move this up to 10, he's still only hitting it at a 33% rate. So at 9.5, I will take this under, especially since you're getting a lot of value there. You're getting plus 104 on FanDuel if you take the under at 9.5. Whichever book you use, I'm taking it at 10.5 or 9.5, whatever you want to do. Just wanted to show you 9.5 real quick because the line moved. Either one, I'm taking it, and I do think it's going to be a profitable bet. So that's my first pick. Now for the second pick, we're going to stay in this same game, and we're going to go look at that guy Donovan Mitchell. And while everybody's probably looking at his points, I'm going to go over to his rebounds at this line of 3.5. Now, most people when they see this probably think he's hitting it over at a 53% rate in his last 30. He's averaging 4.4 rebounds on the season, so this should be an over, right? But no, when you look more into it, you see that this is actually more favorable to be an under, and when you look more into it, the under doesn't just look good to take, it looks great to take, and I'm going to show you why. So first things first, in head-to-head matchups, he has went well under this mark both times. He went 1.5 rebounds under. He only had 2 each time that he played the Pistons. It's not like he played low minutes or anything. He just didn't get the rebounds. rebounds. And the reason for that is probably because they're a top 10 team in rebounds allowed, because when you add that filter to the equation, what you're going to see is that he drops off a ton to just a 25% hit rate, which is exactly what you want to see when you take the under. Now, what makes this that much better is I want you to take a look at the odds here. 3.5 line to go over is minus 150, but to go under, it's plus 124, and that is an absolute steal. This is a huge value bet right here, and while, yeah, the over could happen, it's more likely, based on my research, that the under is going to happen. So to be able to get this at plus 124 is extremely, extremely profitable, and this is how you make a lot of money in sports betting. You find discrepancies in lines where they have plus odds when I honestly don't think it should be. It probably should be more around minus 115 on both sides, but you're getting this at plus 124, so go take it while you can. I'm taking the under here at 3.5 all day long. So that's my second pick of the video. That gives us two great picks that I like a lot, especially Donovan Mitchell at plus money. And then for my next pick, we're going to go over to the Pelicans game, and we're going to take a look at that guy CJ McCollum and his point line at 21.5. Now, I will mention on other books, you're going to be able to get this at 20.5. Obviously, the odds are going to be different for the overs if you're betting it at 20.5 or 21.5. Either way, I like that a lot. And the reason for that is because when you look at how he's playing over the season so far, you see that on the season, he's averaging 22.1 points. So he's averaging the over on the 20.5 line or the 21.5 line. And he's also hitting at over a 50% rate in his last 30 games, going 17 for 30, which is obviously pretty promising. Now, obviously, there's a lot more to dig into besides just this. And the first thing I like to look at is head-to-head. And so far this season, he's played the Nuggets twice, and both times he found a way to go over. One time by about 4 points, and the other time by about 10 points, which is obviously really good to see. Now, even though it's good to see that he's proved that he can score against this team, that's not the best way to look at things. The first thing that I want to show you here is what happens when you take him to his projected minutes. So CJ McCollum is projected to play 35 minutes in this game, so let's just put him in that range. Let's go up to 32, and then max him out at around 38, so somewhere in that range. And when you do that, look how much his hit rate goes up. It goes up to 65%, which obviously is really good to see, and that's at the 21.5 line or the 20.5 line. So either way, like I said, I like both of them, and this is the first reason why. Now, the second reason why is when you look at the spread on this game, the Pelicans are expected to lose, so what's great about that is that he has a really high chance of getting all of these minutes that he's projected to get, and that is something that can hurt player props a lot. If you think someone might blow someone out, it might scare you away from this pick, but I don't think this is a pick that's going to do that, because I really just don't see a way that the Pelicans blow the Nuggets out. I think it ends up being probably a 10 or 15 point win for the Nuggets, which should allow CJ to get 30 to 35 plus minutes. Now, what I also love about this is the matchup, because when you look at what CJ McCollum does good, he loves to shoot above the break threes, which is any three-pointer that's not in the corner, and the Nuggets are currently the 24th worst team in the NBA at guarding that. And when you add that filter to the equation, what you're going to see happen, let's make them a bottom 20 or a bottom 10 team, and he hits at an 88.9% when that's the case. 8 out of 9 games, and the only time he didn't hit, he barely went under, and that right there makes me extremely confident in this pick going over at 21.5 or at 20.5, like I said. And then just to top everything off, we can remove this filter and look at the fact that the Nuggets also have the 5th fastest pace in the NBA, and when you take a look at what he does whenever an opponent has a top 10 pace, he also is hitting at a really high rate, an 87.5% rate, so that just adds on to what I just showed you. And as long as he goes out there and plays like he normally does and has a decent game, he's going to hit over this mark pretty easily, in my opinion. I'm showing you the research to back it up. It looks really good. So that's 3 picks. Super confident in all of them. And then my last pick, we're going to move over to the Warriors game, and we're going to go over to a guy that's been hitting for me all year long, and that guy, Brandin Podziemski, and we're going to stay here and look at his points. So, first things first, in his last 30 games, he's hitting at a 46% rate, which isn't the greatest, and on the season, he's averaging 8.9 points a game, which also isn't the greatest, but you got to realize, earlier on in the season, he wasn't getting a ton of minutes, so his projected minutes this game are 24, so let's put him in that range, and we'll see what happens. Minutes, let's go over here, let's put it to 21, and then max him out at 27. And what you see happen is his hit rate automatically goes up to over 50%. He's hit 8 out of 15 times if this is the case. And then you add to that the Kuminga isn't playing. That makes it go up even more. A 60% hit rate, 3 out of 5 games where this happened, were 2 games where he didn't do it. He was obviously really close. And to just top that off, what I also love about this is the Jazz aren't a bad matchup for him, considering they allow the 28th most above the break threes. And considering that's where he likes to score the majority of his points, if we add that to the equation and make them a bottom 10 team in that, you're going to see that he has hit 100% of the time against teams that aren't good at guarding above the break threes, or they're bottom 10 in guarding it. And that right there should be enough to make you confident in this over. He's averaging 14.8 points where this is the case, which is obviously really promising. And then just to finally top everything off, to give you that last little bit of confidence in it, we can take a look at head-to-head and see that he went over both times. The last time he played him, Curry didn't play, so he did get 32 minutes in that game. But even if you want to take that off, we can remove that game. And what you'll see is that in the game where he got his normal amount of minutes, he got 25 minutes in this game right here. He still went over at 15 points. So I think he's going to go over this mark once again. Like I said, he's hitting it at a 100% rate when teams are bottom 10 and allowing above the break threes. And the Jazz are a team that isn't good at guarding that. So he's probably going to hit again as long as he can shoot up a couple threes, make a few. He should have 10 plus points. I really don't think that's that far of a reach. You're getting good odds, minus 115 on the over. I love that. So that gives us 4 picks that I'm really confident in. So to recap really quick, all of them, Cade Cunningham, under assists at 10.5. You can take it at 9.5 with plus odds if you want, but 10.5 is a lot safer. Let's move down to Donovan Mitchell, under rebounds at 3.5. You're getting big-time value here, around plus 120 to 130, which is obviously really good to see. And then CJ McCollum, over 20.5 points. Love that. And Brandin Pods, like I just showed you, over 9.5 points. I like that as well. These are my 4 picks. Go lock them in. And until next time, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you want more videos just like this, and let's all go print some money.